Joining us now, one of the key people overseeing the investigation, Erie County District Attorney John Flynn. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
My first question is, do we know more about the gunman's intentions? Had he not been stopped?
Well, we know that about a year prior to this, he had made some comments where he lived there in Broome County. The exact nature and where those comments were directed to, we're drilling down on right now. But obviously, it appears that, he had hatred in his heart long before he traveled to Buffalo.
Okay, and what's the status of the investigation at this point? Also, I'm just reading in my notes here that the Buffalo police commissioner had said the suspect would have driven out of Tops grocery store, the parking lot, and continued down Jefferson Avenue looking for more black people to kill had he not been stopped. Tell us what we know so far about his motivation.
Well, obviously, from with all the evidence that we've gathered so far, the motivation at this stage appears to be pure hatred, pure racial hatred. Now, there happens to be a penal law in the state of New York that is entitled a domestic act of terrorism motivated by hate. That particular crime right now is a crime that I'm focusing on. I've already got him charged, make it with the highest murder charge in the state, murder in the first degree. So we got that charge done right away. We got him held on that. So now the next legal step is we got a felony hearing scheduled for Thursday. It's a probable cause hearing to determine whether or not a felony's been committed. I'm confident that the murder in the first degree meets the probable cause standard. So he's going to be either held for the grand jury on Thursday or he's going to waive it to the grand jury. So I'm already in grand jury mode right now. So what that means is basically when I go into the grand jury now, I can add on all the additional charges that I want, again, assuming that I have the evidence. And so what I'm focusing on right now are the domestic terrorism and hate crime charges.
Mr. District Attorney, good morning. Jonathan Lemire here. I want to ask you about an incident from a year ago where the suspect was already received attention from the New York State Police for threats he made in school, said he was going to commit violence, perhaps a shooting, maybe a murder-suicide. And he was taken into psychiatric evaluation in a hospital for just a couple of days, but then let go. Was this as you look at it now, the appropriate steps taken? And should he have been on some sort of red flag list when he tried to purchase this firearm?
Well, Jonathan, I obviously can't comment on whether it was appropriate or not because I wasn't privy to it. I wasn't there. I wasn't part of that investigation. I wasn't a part of the meetings that took place. That was a situation that I alluded to a few minutes ago that we're drilling down now on that. And the reason why I'm drilling down is not to, criticize anyone in Broome County or to cast blame on anyone, but I have an element of intent here with regard to my murder charge, and I have an element of intent with regard to any additional charges that I may lodge against this individual. And so what he did in the past, specifically in that incident, may go toward my theory of intent or the evidence that I would need in intent. So that's how I'm looking at that, Jonathan. Again, I like I said, I wasn't privy to what happened there. So, it'd be irresponsible of me to kind of comment on who did what, bad or good.
Right. Mr. Flynn, Joe Scarborough here. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm curious as we look forward, and I know, my God, you have so much on you right now. But as we look forward, would it help you as a DA? Wouldn't it help law enforcement for us to look at this in a more holistic way moving down the road? Because we're hearing more and more stories of younger Americans with mental health issues, obviously, explosion of hate speech on social media. Isn't this something that we need to invest in more in America? So whether it's police officers, whether it's DAs, whether it's investigators, whether it's gun shop owners, we have a better understanding of who the threats are out there day in, day out.
Joe, absolutely. And one way to do that is to have increased funding in our intelligence centers. So here in Buffalo, we have an entity called the Erie Crime Analysis Center, and that we have literally crime analysts at the Buffalo Police Department who every day are just searching social media. They are all over every outlet you can imagine on social media. We're mainly looking for people, gang members, who are out there on social media making threats to people. But Joe, we can definitely expand that to other areas of domestic terrorism and looking for hate crimes and looking for all other sorts of crimes that may be out there. So that's a great point and a great question, because additional funding for crime analysis centers, not only on the federal level, but specifically in our big cities across the country, could be a tremendous help in that endeavor.
Well, Erie County District Attorney John Flynn, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show today.